I'm Al Van Cleeve, and I love it here in Walla Walla. I voted for Dwight Eisenhower in 1952, and I had been a Republican up until, well, I will say 2008. I go to bed at night, and what goes through my mind is the horrible circumstances that exist and are on the news every day of the week, day after day. We have to restore this country to what it once was.
Mark you well this day in American progress, for the scurrying clock of history is striking 10 this Tuesday morning of November 23rd, 1954. As down from aloft swings the golden body of a car that's been 46 years in the making. A car that marks a proud feat of the teamwork of American productive achievement, unmatched anywhere at any time. The manufacture by the people of one company of 50 million motor cars.
You know, somebody told me one time to go read the 1956 Republican platform. So I called it up. I called it up and I looked at it.
Tell me, I'm interested.
It reads like a freaking left-wing platform. It does. It's about protecting labor rights. It's about income, boosting the working class. I mean, and there's conservative things in it too, but I mean, those things just jump out at you in the 1956. Of course, in 1956, the highest marginal tax bracket was 90%. And
now what are they paying?
Where was that money going? It was going into the GI Bill because of all the soldiers that returned.
Right.
And look what that investment did to our country. I mean, it was phenomenal.
Let's look at this graph. This represents the total national income. To the employees of America, the wage earners and salaried people, went the biggest amount, 65%. The self-employed, professional people and small business operators got the next share, 9.5%. The farmers and dairymen who supplied food markets and our processing plants with the raw foodstuffs received 6.5%. Stockholders, the people who could save a little money and invest it in business and industry, received 4%. And you will remember that this amount was widely diffused, since there are 18 million stockholders in America today. Their investments of their savings have built new factories, provided new machines and other equipment to make new jobs in industry. The corporations themselves receive 7.5% before payment of taxes. After taxes, they retained only 3.1% of the national income. The people who had property for rent received 4%. And lastly, the bondholders, who provided the cash for new schools, new paving, home loans, and so forth, received 3.5%.
They kept whittling away at that higher tax bracket down to where it's 37% now. And then they put in all the other tax breaks with capital gains tax and all these things that make it possible for Jeff Bezos to have a 3% effective tax when the rest of us are paying 30%. That's what the average tax burden is. But the system is set up to give it to him. What he's doing is perfectly legal. The system is rigged. That's the one thing I agree with Donald Trump on. The system is rigged, but it's rigged very differently than the way he talks about it. But the word rigged is true. We're on a treadmill of economic oppression. That's what it is.
The people are the ones who make these companies operate. And if we're not protected, and if the process for when we hold these companies accountable is not working for us, it's not a left or a right thing. It's not a Democrat or a Republican thing. It's a workers thing. It's a workers issue. And we're the ones that are suffering.
My neighbor, last year, She paid $8,500.
Oh
Her
my gosh.
Well, that was last year. She paid $8,500 for her health care plan through the Affordable Care Act. This year, that exact same plan costs her $20,000. Taking away the Affordable Care Act for subsidies, which Michael Baumgartner voted to do so he could give tax breaks to billionaires, put together with the bureaucratic hurdles that they put into Medicaid, that's going to cost, those two things are going to cost 35,000 people in this congressional district their health insurance this year.
35,000.
35,000 people.
Now we've just started a war with Iran that is absolutely unnecessary. The goal, as I understand it, is to eliminate the nuclear capability of Iran, and I don't think that that is the goal today. We have to stop that war as soon as we can.
Gas prices up 7 cents since yesterday, up 30 since this time last week, and up 50 since just a few days before we started attacking Iran. Reopening the Strait of Hormuz is the only solution, oil analysts say.
Yeah. Did you know that the House of Representatives just a few days ago had the opportunity to pull all those troops out of Iran, and the vote came down 212 to 212. Therefore, it did not pass. And Michael Baumgartner, our representative, voted no.
Well, all the
could
more
have-
reason to remove him then.
Exactly, because he could have changed the course of the war with his vote. He could have made history there, and he voted to let that war continue. So I think it's perfectly valid now to call this Baumgartner's War.
And just the cost of the war alone is driving us near bankruptcy.
That you add that right on top of it, and the price of gas and diesel. And poor farmers, all their equipment runs on diesel, and then all the price of
All the trucking
fertilizer.
across the country runs on diesel.
Absolutely, and you put the fertilizer prices on top of that, and the farmers are really hurting. They're really hurting. Much like you mentioned earlier about having sleepless nights, I was having them too, back last fall. And it was to the point where I knew it was not healthy for me to continue on. So I thought, I need to reframe this in my mind somehow. I spent one Saturday morning walking around Pioneer Park, walking around the labyrinth over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent about an hour and a half inside that labyrinth, just walking in circles, thinking about this. How can I think about this differently? And there's an old saying that came to me that said, in chaos, there's opportunity. So I started thinking, what's the opportunity here? And I thought, well, the opportunity coming is the midterm elections. Because if we have enough true patriots elected, we can stop some of this chaos, and we can slow down more of it. And then we can prepare for 28 and keep the momentum building. Because I saw in the American people momentum building.
People I talk to here in Walla Walla are concerned too.
Mm-hmm.
And their voice must be heard.
Yeah.
And you're going to be our voice.
That's the goal. That is the goal. Now, thank you. So,
Well, David, I know you can do a job for us. I have every confidence in you, and you can't do anything to shake that confidence.
well, thank you, Al. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.